If you ever made plans, looked forward to something, even picked out the outfit that you're going to wear, and then when that day finally came, your body said, no, not going to happen, then you already know what this episode is all about. Well, today we're going to talk about one of the quiet struggles of Parkinson's canceling plans, and not because we want to, but because sometimes we have to. So if you've ever felt guilty, misunderstood, or just plain frustrated by this, know that you're not alone. And today I'm going to say the things we usually keep to ourselves.
They told him he had 5 good years left. That was 15 years ago. He's still standing, still speaking, still living. This is Living with Parkinsons, the good, the bad, and the reality. A podcast about what happens when life throws you something incurable, and you fight back anyway. Hosted by Bryce Perry. Diagnosed at 40, 15 years into the battle. This is the truth behind the tremor. Let's begin.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Living with Parkinson's, the good, the bad, and the reality. I'm Bryce, and this is a place where we talk about Parkinson's honestly. We laugh, we cry, we vent, and we show up, awkwardness and all. If this is your kind of space, feel free to hit that subscribe button and follow along with the journey. No pressure, no expectation, just connection. And if you want to go even deeper, I'd love you for you to check out the Inner Circle. It's my private membership group where we meet. You can post things, you can talk, you can chat with other members, and then we go live, just private, just like a support group, just me and you. We're doing it once a month. The members want to go twice a month, bi-weekly, so we might just do that. But it's a warm, it's honest, it's warm, and it's one of those the most meaningful things that I'm a part of. The next call is coming soon, and I'd love to see you there. The link is in the description, or you can just click the join right now if you're on YouTube. And now I want to get right into this. Let's talk about canceling plans. You know, there's a stereotype that I hate, and that's the flake. The person bails, he's unreliable, they're unreliable. You know, the one that has that last minute excuse. I hate it because Parkinson's can make you feel like you've become that person. And it's not fair. You want to go, you mean to go, but your body, your meds, your fatigue, it just doesn't line up with you on that day. I remember a time I was supposed to go out for dinner with friends, nothing fancy, just casual, something I was really looking forward to. And I took my meds and I timed everything right. Because if you know me and you've been following along this podcast, I'm all about timing and my meds. And about an hour before I was supposed to leave, I just hit a wall. Fatigue, stiffness, brain fog, the whole package, right? I had it all. I sat on the edge of my bed for about 20 minutes, and I just stared at the floor. And then I sent that text, that sorry, I just can't make it text. And they said, no worries. But I felt like gutted. You see, what most people don't realize is that Parkinson's is unpredictable. You can plan your day perfectly and still get slammed by off time. You can feel great by 10 a.m. and like you're moving through cement by 2 p.m. Add in the anxiety, gut issues, urgency, pain, and, it's just about being tired. Or sorry, it's not just about being tired. It's about managing something that no one else can see. And there's your big problem. I remember this one time I missed this family barbecue, and it wasn't even far. I was dressed, I was ready, and then I froze physically and emotionally. The idea of being in a crowd, moving slow, being watched, answering the questions, how are you feeling, 15 times. I just couldn't do it. And so I stayed home and I beat myself up for it until I realized that sometimes staying home is the most courageous decision that you can make. Believe it or not, it really is. People sometimes think, oh, you just don't feel like going, or you should have pushed through. But here's the truth. If I cancel because I didn't want to go, that's easy. The pain is when you really want to do and you really want to do there, you really want to do something, you really want to be there, and it just can't. Parkinson's has a way of asking us to surrender control. And, some days that means saying no to things that you love. I'm all about pushing through. I'm all about going for it. And some days I do, and some days I don't. But I used to over apologize to people. I'm so sorry. Please don't be mad. I feel awful. But now I just try to be honest. Hey, I'm having a Parkinson's day. I hope you understand. And if they don't get it, that's on them. And if they do, those are your people. You see, if they don't get it and they try to make you feel guilty, or they try to say, God, I just miss you, or, I never see you anymore. And they don't kind of understand that Parkinson's day, then I just don't have a lot of time for them. I kind of give up. I don't have a lot of time to worry about them or worry what they're going to think about what I just said. Now, how do I put this in reference? It's kind of like the little boy who cried wolf, right? I mean, when I'm talking about the days that I just can't go, the days that I'm like I have to call it in, I have to call a PD day. Those are my extreme days. I mean, when I know I can push through, or it's sort of like, I really have to balance out. Do I really just don't feel like going? Am I being lazy? Like I just don't want to go? It's not just not worth the effort, or or I really just can't. Right. So you have to really balance that within yourself and ask yourself, you know, can I go, or am I just being lazy? Because sometimes we are. Sometimes we call it in, and don't get me wrong, I've used the PD excuse maybe once or twice, but not a lot. So that's the type. I mean, again, if it's one that you're calling in just because if you just don't feel up to it, you just but you could do it, then that's totally different. And so therefore, if you're following this procedure and it's one of those procedures, and it's one of those days where it's like you just know you just can't, right? It's like you just can't, right? Well, then you have to let go of the guilt. The hardest part of canceling plans isn't the text. It's the guilt that shows up afterwards. That voice in your head that says they're going to stop inviting you. They think that you're unreliable. I'm letting people down. Have you ever thought those? Let me say this really clearly. You're not letting anybody down by taking care of yourself and your body. You're allowed to choose rest. You're allowed to protect your energy, and you're allowed to show up when you can and say no when you need to. Okay? I remember I once had this. I had to cancel this. I had to cancel attending this really important Parkinson's event. Yeah, really, actually, an event for people with Parkinson's, right? And I felt ashamed at first, like I wasn't Parkinson's enough, or I wasn't strong enough to show up. But then I realized being an advocate doesn't mean pushing through everything. It means being honest about this life, what this life really looks like. And that's what I try to do. I mean, I am the most positive, the glass is half full kind of guy. But there's those days that I just can't. And I need to be honest about that. I need to be honest with myself. Right. And I need to be honest with you. And I need to be honest with, people at an event. That's what PD is. That's why it's awful. That's why it sucks. Right. So, how do I decide now? Well, these days I ask myself two questions before every commitment. Do I have the capacity for this today? Right? And if I need to cancel, will I still respect myself? If the answer is yes to both of them, then I commit. If the answer is no, I gracefully bow out. And it's not about proving anything, it's about protecting the limited energy that I have. Isn't that something? You know, you are the only one. Truly, you're the only one. If you're living with Parkinson's, you're the only one. Actually, you know what? Even if you're a caregiver, you're the only one that can protect the energy that you're going to have in a day. And I want my energy that I have to go to the best things of my day. And maybe that is going out somewhere. Maybe that is seeing my friends. Maybe that is hanging out with family. Maybe it is. But maybe on that day, maybe it's not. And you have to really balance that out, right? So, if you're watching this, if you're someone who cancels plans more than you'd like, I see you. You're not lazy and you're not weak. You're not unreliable. You're adapting. You're listening to your body. You're fighting a fight that no one else sees. And that's not flakiness, that's courage. How about that for a quick one? If it resonates with you, hit the like button and please leave a comment. Tell me about a time that you had to cancel or how you had to handle those days when Parkinson said no. I read and reply to every single comment. I'm a little behind right now, but I will catch up. And if you want to go a little deeper and you want to talk more openly about this stuff, I talk about this stuff really openly in the inner circle. It's a community where you can hang out with people just like you. You can leave comments, you can talk to each other, you can DM each other. I built it just for you and me. And then we also have our live calls that we're doing. And we had one I think just the other week, and it went so well. It was amazing. It was so fun. We went pretty deep, and we got to know each other pretty well. And now they're asking if we could do it bi-weekly, and we might just do that. So anyway, if you want to join, there's no pressure, there's no expectation. It's just a connection, right? The link's in the description, or you can click on join if you're watching on YouTube, or just look in the descriptions or the show notes, and they'll be there. And you know what? Just subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it. Please subscribe. Share this video with someone who needs to hear you're not a flake, and you're not you're just doing your best, and you're not alone. So I will see you next time. I appreciate you. I love you. Keep standing strong. Keep doing life and keep doing life today. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.